Ready to fire. Anvil, are you ready? Coach Spurs asked. I'm ready, Anvil said with little confidence. Boom! Was the sound it made on his body. Anvil was knocked back into the sand. The coaches repeated this on each of the 8. Orbit and Olympian did not get knocked back by the first round. The rankings were evident to everyone. The coaches kept increasing the force of the rounds, and when someone couldn't continue, the coaches told them to sit out. Eclipse in his small form, Aztec and Isotope were first out, then Darkspeed. The remaining 4 held on for some time. Orbit, Anvil, and Granite all seemed about even when the coaches called them to sit out. Only Olympian remained. Olympian kept taking round after round without flinching or moving. The noise that the rounds made was deafening. How does he not get knocked back? Midas asked. He's a really strong flyer. He's using it to stay in one place, said Lucy. The railgun had finally reached its limit, and Olympian had still not moved. Coach Spurs walked over to Olympian and shook his hand. We've never had a new student take the gun all the way before. I expect big things for you, Coach Spurs said. Thank you, Coach. I'll not let you down, Olympian said in the somber voice of a hero born. All the students were then dismissed for dinner in the night. Midas and Jack worked for another hour putting reports of the day's happenings together. Then they were on the way to the dining hall. Once in the hotel, they saw everyone in the dining room, loudly going over the day's events. Olympian sat in the center of hitters. Midas watched as he reveled in his glory. He's clearly the star athlete here, Midas said. What about Darkspeed and Orbit? He broke the speed records, and I don't think there's ever been a girl as strong as her here, said Jack. That's true. Midas saw Virtuoso motioning for him across the room. If you don't mind, I'm going to sit over with Virtuoso. That's fine. I told IQ and Zoner that I would find them, said Jack. Midas started to walk to Virtuoso when he was stopped by Olympian. You were working in the dugout helping with our reports, right? Olympian asked. Yes, I was. Do you know which hitter is ranked number 1? We don't rank anyone, the coaches do. But you should know how you did today, right? I mean, everyone saw you take the best of the railgun, Midas said. Sure, I just want to make sure I'm the hitter on first team. Well, you got my vote. Thanks. Did you guys get a durability rating for me? Olympian asked. The railgun tops out at 5 million norms. That didn't even touch you. Bobby, one of the techs, did some math, and he thinks you're at 1.5 to 1.7 billion norms. But he said, short of hitting you with the nuke, we'll never know. Olympian looked like it was Christmas morning. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Olympian tapped Midas on the shoulder and said, Have a great night. Virtuoso looked at Midas as he sat down at the dinner table. You made him happy, she said. He wanted to know his durability rating. I wonder why. Virtuoso paused and spoke. From what you said, he did the math, and he knows he's at least 300 times more durable than the other hitters. Most likely 1,000 times. He's sure he'll win tomorrow's challenges. Oh, I wouldn't have put him as one short on self-confidence, Midas said. He comes from a long line of supers, and he's the first in his family to be invited to Alpha. It's like his holy mission to be the best. Well, physically, it's either him or Darkspeed. Yeah, one's the fastest and one's the toughest, Virtuoso said. How did he know about the matches tomorrow? Almost half the kids know now. I'm not the only mind reader. Well, guess what? I learned so much today about all the other students, said Midas. Well, come on, share it. Do you have the spreadsheet? No, hold on. Virtuoso then disappeared and reappeared a few seconds later with her papers. That must be handy. I could be home every night for dinner if it wasn't against the rules. Now let's add to our spreadsheet. First off, I want to add the not-so-public information to the spreadsheet. The individual assessments were done for the healers. I know what the healers are ranked at, Midas said. Virtuoso perked up. Spill it. Who's ranked highest? We have 4 that are ranked as a 9 in healing. Avian, Bioforce, Gia, and Wave. Only Bioforce can do a bio reading or sensing stuff like we saw last night. Right, like she read you. That's not all. She can also shapeshift and manipulate biology, her own and others, he said. What does that mean? I think it means change their physical makeup or structure. Bioforce also senses living things. What about the others? Virtuoso asked. The others can heal and do other non-healing stuff. Bioforce shapeshifting makes her the best healer in a fight. You saw how she lifted like a hitter. My bet is she's ranked number 1, and the other 3 are the next on the list. She was using her super hearing to listen to several conversations around the dining room. Her hearing was much better than Midas. When she heard Midas and Virtuoso discussing rankings, she only listened to them. Bioforce is the first healer here, she thought. She knew she was going to be the first stealth, and probably be on the first team like her father was. If this Bioforce was most likely to be her teammate, getting to know her would be better than sitting alone. She had been trying to learn all the names and faces of the other students. Bioforce wasn't easy to forget. She was the muscle monster that lifted 500 tons and turned back into a girl. She looked to see her sitting alone eating her dinner. She was eating alone as well. She carried her plate and drink to Bioforce's table. Is anyone sitting in this seat? No, you can sit if you want to, Bioforce said. She sat down and decided she wanted to be friends with this person who may be her teammate for decades to come. My name is She. I'm from Tokyo. What's your name? Bioforce, and I'm from Berlin. Pleased to meet you. That was a great performance you put on today. Thanks, you're very kind, Bioforce said. There was a pause that was not good. She then remembered her stealth and spy training on how to be personable. Get them talking about themselves, she thought. Tell me about your family in Berlin. I bet you missed them. Bioforce thought she hit the nail on the head. Yeah, my mom and dad are the best, and I miss them very much. I've only been gone for a few days, and I'm already counting the days until our first vacation. Bioforce sounded really sad to She. She was tough and wasn't sure she was the best choice to comfort her, but she thought it her duty to try. My parents work a lot, and I don't get to see them as much as I would like to. But the few hours a week that I talk to my mom or go to the HU hall with my dad, it means more than I like to admit. You know, sometimes She felt her voice crack a bit, and it surprised her. Talking about it, thinking about it, made her miss her family. Sounds like my mom and dad. They both work a lot. You're an only child, right? She asked. Yeah, you too? It's like no matter how busy a couple gets, they have to have at least one child so they can call it a family. Bioforce gave a forced, pathetic laugh. Well, from one token child to another, I still miss home. She then made up her mind to do something far out of her comfort zone. She reached her hand over the table and placed it on top of Bioforce's hand. I have no facts or life experience to back this up, but I believe everything is going to work itself out. Bioforce forced a smile at her new friend. Instinctively, she could see inside of her from the touching of the hands. Your powers are still increasing, especially in the next 2 years, but you'll never be taller than 5'3". Can you tell me my fortune too? She said with a smile. On her way up to bed, Bioforce reflected on her evening. She figured she had made a genuine friend in She. Never had she had that kind of genuine conversation with someone. Both of them continued sharing troubles and letdowns along with goals and secrets until it was late. Bioforce now knew what it would take to make her strong while away from her family. It would take friends that were like family.